One Friday night, Yaw and his friends went to a newly opened club on the outskirts of the city, Club Nyanza, which had quickly gained a reputation for its wild parties. Strangely, no one knew who owned the club, but the drinks were cheap, the music was electrifying, and the women were beautiful. As Yaw entered, he was immediately drawn to a woman sitting in the far corner of the club. She was stunning, dressed in a red dress that shimmered in the neon lights, her dark eyes sharp and piercing. She smiled at him, and he felt an unexplainable pull toward her. Ignoring his friends, Yaw approached her. "Can I buy you a drink?" he asked confidently. She smiled again, her red lips curling. "Only if you're ready to pay the price," she replied cryptically. Yaw laughed. "I can afford anything here." The woman leaned in closer, her voice a seductive whisper. "Then come with me. Let's make this night unforgettable." Without hesitation, Yaw followed her to a private room in the back of the club. The air grew heavy, and the lights flickered as they entered. The room smelled faintly of incense and something metallic, like blood. She stepped closer to Yaw, her eyes gleaming with something otherworldly. As she touched him, he felt an intense dizziness, as though the room was spinning. The last thing he remembered was her cold fingers trailing down his chest before he blacked out. Yaw woke up hours later in a dark alley behind the club. His head throbbed, and his body felt heavy. He looked around, disoriented, and realized his clothes were disheveled. A cold dread washed over him as he reached down. His penis was gone. Panicked, Yaw stumbled back into the club, but it was as if the place had vanished. The building was now a dilapidated ruin, covered in vines, as though it had been abandoned for decades. The woman in red was nowhere to be seen. Yaw sought help from herbalists, pastors, and even fetish priests, but none could undo the curse. One elderly priest finally explained the truth. The woman in red was not human, but a mami wata, a water spirit known to lure men and steal their vitality as payment for their arrogance. Now Yaw roams the streets of Kumasi, a shadow of his former self, warning others about the dangers of arrogance and the allure of the unknown. But his story is often met with laughter, dismissed as the ramblings of a broken man. Yet those who see the fear in his eyes know the truth. Some nightlife encounters leave scars that can never heal.